Sami Al-Arian is a director of the Center for Islam and Global Affairs at Istanbul Sabahattin Zaim University. He joins me now live from Istanbul. Great to have you here with us on TRT World. So what exactly is Israel trying to do in the occupied West Bank? Is this an effort by Tel Aviv to extend the war in Gaza into the occupied West Bank?
Well, there are three dynamics going on in the West Bank. This is in view of what's happening in Gaza. The world has been silent to the massacres and the atrocities and the genocide going on in Gaza. And that encouraged the Israeli occupational forces to go and try to induce another catastrophe in the West Bank. Let's remember that this government, which took power almost 20 months ago, they came with this plan of trying to depopulate the Palestinians from the areas where they occupy, where they call Area C. Under Oslo, the West Bank is divided into areas A, B, and C, where C is about 60% of the area of the West Bank. And that means that they're trying to induce as many Palestinians out of this area as possible. And they have been trying to do that, particularly the settler violence, for many, many months. The Palestinians started resisting what's happening. So the fight didn't start today. They have been going on for months, but just people don't pay much attention. There is another dynamic which is taking place in Jerusalem. They're trying to take over the Holy Mosque in Al-Aqsa Mosque by trying to impose some sort of a division between the Israelis, the Zionists, and the Muslims. And of course, the Muslims have been resisting that as well. And there is, of course, a third dynamic, which is, as I said, in trying to impose some sort of a terror campaign so that they can get as many Palestinians out of the West Bank as possible.
And do you think they're likely to achieve this objective?
I mean, they'll try. I mean, it's not for the lack of trying. Let's remember also that they have been trying this for 57 years. The West Bank and Gaza have been under occupation for 57 years. They're trying to impose their will on the population, but the resistance never stopped. Sharon tried that back in 2002, 22 years ago, and he wasn't able to suppress it. So whatever they do now, there will be many casualties as usual. There will be many atrocities, many children killed, but the resistance will continue in one form or another.
Professor, what I really fail to understand here is what is the end goal? I mean, Israel is already conducting a massive onslaught in the Gaza Strip, and now things appear to be worsening in the occupied West Bank. So what are they trying to achieve here, especially when it comes to the onslaught in Gaza? Because we're getting reports attacks have been taking place across the Gaza Strip. All governorates of Gaza are under Israeli attacks now.
The end goal of Netanyahu is, of course, as he said, he wants to have a surrender by the resistance. That's not going to happen. But the real goal here is to induce a mass dispossession, a mass deportation, a mass exodus from the Palestinians by making Gaza totally unlivable. If the Palestinians are convinced that Gaza will never be back as a livable city, there will be no water, no housing, no food, no electricity, no fuel, no schools, no hospitals, then perhaps he thinks that they could leave. And then if they leave, they solve his demographic problem, because Israel has a problem. It wants to retain all the territory between the river and the sea. It wants to claim that it is democratic and majority Jewish. They can't do that with the current Palestinian population. So he has to find one way to get them out. Otherwise, it will be an apartheid state, which would be a state unacceptable by the world, if not today, certainly in the future. And therefore, he's trying to take opportunity of what's happening today, because the world is totally silent and not doing anything, and he's taking advantage of that.
Sami Al-Arian, thanks very much for talking to us here on TRT World. I really appreciate your taking out the time.
Thank you.